My dear friends, I welcome you all for unit number 3, traffic engineering. So, what is traffic engineering? It is the science of measuring traffic and travel by studying the basic laws relating to traffic flow generation and applications of these knowledge to the professional practice of planning, designing, and operating traffic systems to achieve safe, rapid, and efficient movement of people and goods at economical cost. Also, in other words, we can say traffic engineering is that branch of engineering which deals with the improvement of traffic performance of road networks and terminals. Okay, then we have some objectives of this traffic engineering as this helps to achieve efficient, free, and rapid flow of traffic and helps to reduce the number of accidents. So, to overcome this, we have to study this traffic engineering in detail. Okay, so to study this, we have various phases of traffic engineering, namely 3 E's. So, what does these 3 E stands for? First E stands for engineering. So, engineering ultimately will talk about construction, that is, we'll study about geometric designs of road, which we have already covered in unit number 2. Okay, then second E stands for enforcement, that is whatever are the rules and regulations, government rules and regulations laid down for the traffic, that all we have to study. Again, this we are going to study in unit number 4. And education, so education relating to publicity through advertisements, schools, and television. So these are the various phases of traffic engineering. Now, what is traffic study? Traffic study is carried out for various reasons. To obtain the knowledge of type and volume of traffic at present and to estimate the future traffic that the road is expected to carry. Nextly, to determine the facilities provided on the roads and at intersections, such as traffic regulations and control, so that improvement on the basis of traffic density may be carried out. To determine the geometric features and pavement thickness on the basis of traffic surveys. Also, traffic study is important for the design of bridges and culverts. Also, this survey helps to relate to accidents, which in turn helps to redesign the roads, increasing road width, and to maintain the regulations and control. So, for all these, we have to study this traffic in detail. There are also some goals of traffic engineering, like this helps to explore for providing the safe and efficient, comfortable, rapid, convenient, economical, and environmental compatible movement of people and goods. The meaning of these terms may be understood as below. Like, if we say that traffic engineering goal is to safe, means it should satisfy the public requirement, safety for the public. If it is time, means time value and consumer service should be very proper. Comfortable or convenient, level of service should be very properly provided for the public utility. Economical in all respects, that is economy. Social cost should be ultimately less. Environmental means it should not harm the environment. Ultimately, clean air and sustainability should be obtained. And movement, that is mobility, should be very distinct and proper. Then what is the scope of traffic engineering? So we'll enlist down one by one and study. So first is traffic characteristics. So in this, improvement of traffic facilities, that is vehicles or machines and human, that is road users, whatever are the road users, that comes under the heading of traffic characteristics. So this is the first scope of traffic engineering. We will study it in detail in next lectures. Next scope is traffic studies and analysis. In this, we are going to learn about traffic operations, control, and regulations. This will cover the topics such as law, speed limits, installation of traffic control devices, etc. In this subtopic, we have as planning and analysis, geometric design. Now, what does this geometric design includes? Horizontal and vertical curve designs, and administration and management, that is 3E concept, which we have already studied in previous slides. Now, traffic characteristics. What are these traffic characteristics? Generally, traffic characteristics are divided into three types. First is road user characteristics, vehicular characteristics, which you can see here enlisted, and the third one is braking characteristics, which again is the sub part of vehicular characteristics. So basically we can say traffic characteristics are divided into two types, that is road user characteristics and vehicular characteristics, and braking characteristics is included in vehicular characteristics. Just remember this. The human element is involved in all actions of the road user, either as a pedestrian, cyclist, car driver, or motorist. The physical, mental, and emotional characteristics of human being affects their ability to operate motor vehicles safely or to the service as a pedestrian. Hence, it is important to the traffic engineer to study the characteristics and limitations of the road users. So why we have to study? To overcome all these problems, we have to study these traffic characteristics. Okay, now what are the various factors which affects the road user characteristics? We have broadly classified here the classification of road user characteristics as well as vehicular characteristics. So we'll just enlist one by one. As road user characteristics are further divided into physical, mental, psychological, and environmental characteristics, whereas vehicular characteristics are further divided into vehicle dimensions, weight of loaded vehicle, power of vehicle, speed of vehicle, and braking characteristics. Again, all these points we are going to discuss in detail in next slides. Okay. So coming to first characteristics, that is road user characteristics. So what is road user characteristics? In this, again we will see psychological characteristics. So the measurable and usable quantification characteristics is vision and hearing, which is very important topic. And psychological characteristics, these are the more difficult to measure and quantify, and this is divided into four types, that is simply we can remember as PIEV theory, that is perception, intellection, emotion, and volition. So firstly we will study the psychological characteristics, that is visual characteristics, that is vision. Okay, so what comes under vision? What is vision? Vision plays the important role among all the physical characteristics. This includes acute or clear vision cone, fairly clear vision cone, and peripheral vision cone. Okay, also glare vision, glare recovery, and depth judgment are important. So minimum standards for acute vision are often laid down by licensing authorities. Yield of clearance is also very important. Field of clearance and acute vision is within a cone whose angle is only 3 degrees, though the vision is fairly satisfactory up to 10 degrees in general and even up to 20 degrees in the horizontal plane. However, in the vertical plane, the field of clear vision may be about 2/3 of that in the horizontal plane. These factors are particularly taken care of while designing and installing the control devices. As the field of clear vision is limited, the road users have to often shift their eyes within the peripheral field to obtain the clear vision. The total time taken by eye movement depends upon some of the physical characteristics, including the response to stimuli. Then fairly clear vision. This vision is satisfactory with an angle cone is 10 degree to 12 degree around the light of sight. It helps for the color and shape identification in the field, and also it is important for locating the traffic signals and signboards. And thirdly, peripheral vision. This is nothing but the total visual field for the two eyes. periphery, whatever we can see along the peripherance of the road is peripheral vision. This vision is possible but without clear details and colors. Angle for the peripheral vision is 160 degree in horizontal direction and 115 degree in vertical direction. So this is the figure about field of vision. You can very well see all the three types of vision, that is acute cone 3 degree to 10 degree, fairly clear that is 10 degree to 12 degree, and peripheral vision 120 to 180 degree, which is shown in this figure. Now what is glare? The effect of glare adaptability is nothing but adaptability to change of light, that is darkness to light and bright light to darkness. This should be studied in depth. Okay, so the driver's ability to adapt the glare and variations in the lighting condition helps to study the glare. Now there are also some factors which will affect this glare recovery are age, wearing of sunglasses. So depending on this, the study have shown that recovery time is between 3 to 6 seconds. Then in this we have subtopic as color vision. So color vision is most important for identifying traffic lights and traffic signals. The driver feels difficult to recognize the proper signals if there is a color blindness, we can say. Then depth of perception or depth of judgment is important for the driver in judging distance and speed of vehicle and other objects ahead. The ability to judge the distance and speed of approaching vehicle is very important. Also for the pedestrians to cross who are crossing the road, the perception is important for the driver, and also judgment of speed of other vehicle is important. Hence these topics are covered in this depth of judgment. Then what is the second condition, that is hearing? This is nothing but a second physical characteristics. Hearing helps the driver in the way, though it is not important for the pedestrian and cyclist. As the strength is not important factor in general, lack of strength may make parking maneuvers difficult, particularly for heavy vehicles. The reaction to traffic situations depends upon the time required to perceive and understand the traffic situations and to take the appropriate actions. This hearing is very vital for the road user characteristics. Also, the person should be clearly capable to hear the sound of horns. He should get alert of pedestrians, and also it is important to elderly people with falling eyesight. Then the next important characteristics which is perception reaction time. The time of critical driver characteristics is perception reaction time. During perception and reaction, the driver must perform 4 distinct processes. These are all similar to PIV theory. So in perception reaction time there are 4 types. That is, first is detection. In this phase, what happens is an object or condition of a concern enters the driver's field of vision, and the road user driver becomes consciously aware that something acquires a response in present. Okay, you have to detect what is the condition. Identify means you have to take care the driver acquires sufficient information concerning the object or condition which allows for the consideration of any appropriate response. Then he have to decide once identification of the object or condition is sufficiently completed, the driver must analyze the information and make a decision about how he should respond to the particular situation. And response, whatever he have decided, you have to simply react to the condition physically implementing by the driver. The perception time includes the detection, identification and decision elements involved responding to the action, whereas the reaction time is the time taken to initiate that physical activity. Some references refer to the perception, identification or intellection, emotion and volition. That is, already we have said that PERT is similar to PIV, which is compared in the concept of PRT. The reaction time for the signal timing purpose, the Institute of Transportation Engineering recommends a PRT time of 1 seconds. As per AASHTO, that is American Association of State Highway Officials, perception reaction time for braking reactions on highway is equal to 2.5 seconds, and perception reaction time for reaction time to the traffic signals is equal to 1 second. So we'll stop here and continue in next lecture.